5 shooting guards, and 5 small forwards the Lakers should sign this offseason. The Los Angeles Lakers need roster changes, and they need them now. With the majority of the salary cap already reserved for LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Lakers management need to work their magic and sign role players who should bring some fresh blood to LA. Last year's roster had many limitations, which were especially visible when LeBron and AD were out due to injuries. The roster needs some boost on every position, and we created a list of 5 shooting guards and 5 small forwards who will be available for signing this summer, and for the low price may be very productive. So let's start with the shooters. Number 5, Bryn Forbes. This season, Bryn Forbes saw limited minutes with the Milwaukee Bucks, but when he got his chance, he showed that he can be a consistent threat from the three-point line. He made a tremendous 45.2% of his shots from beyond the arc, and the Lakers need exactly that. Forbes has been in the league for 5 seasons, with the first 4 being with the San Antonio Spurs. Despite being undrafted in 2016, Greg Popovich recognized his talent, and since then, Forbes has proven that he deserves a spot in the league. Even more, with his work ethic and reliable character, Lakers should definitely consider bringing him in and give him an opportunity. Number 4, Alec Burks. Burks spent his last season with the New York Knicks and was probably the best Knicks player in the playoff series against the Hawks. He has a versatile offensive arsenal and can basically make shots from anywhere, whether it's long range distance or confident drive to the basket. Burks spent his first 7 seasons with the Utah Jazz and hasn't managed to stay for long in a team since then. He had short stints with the Cavaliers, the Kings, the Warriors, and the Sixers, and it seems like it's time for a change again. Now, being a veteran, he is the right player for the Lakers who can contribute both as a starter or 6th man. Number 3, Evan Fournier. The Frenchman has been on the Lakers' wish list for a longer period of time, and maybe now is the time for him to move to LA. Fournier is the ideal player for the Lakers, since he can cover both the shooting guard position and, if needed, to play as a point guard. He is a versatile scorer who averaged 17.1 points per game last season for the Magic and Celtics. His move to Boston didn't up as expected for both sides, and with the coaching change in Beantown, Fournier will probably be on the move. Knowing that he is a 9-year veteran, he would probably accept a pay cut to join a winning team. Number 2, JJ Redick. One of the only 3 players older than LeBron James in the league, Redick is entering his 16th season in the league, and he doesn't want anything else rather than a chance to play for the title. He's an elite shooter and experienced player who can bring the right type of energy to the Lakers locker room. He didn't play much in Dallas due to injuries last season, and it seems like he never will. Moving to LA will put him in a situation where he can just be a spot-up shooter and hit the majority of his shots, which will definitely benefit the Lakers. Number 1, Lou Williams. Lou Williams wasn't happy when he was traded from the Clippers to Atlanta and even considered retiring. This summer, Sweet Lou will have a chance to return to LA and be the 6th man the Lakers need. Williams spent 2 seasons with the Lakers from 2015 to 2017 and is willing to come back in order to play for the championship. He's entering his 17th season in the league, and nothing but playing for a contender is not an option for him. Despite being 34, he is still capable of scoring big, and if put in the right situation, he might win his 4th 6th Man of the Year award. So before we go on and see who are the 5 small forwards the Lakers should consider signing in this offseason, make sure you like the video and comment down below about your favorite part of the video. And also, let us know who's your favorite player on the list, or maybe if we should have included someone else. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Top 10 Everythingz channel with the notification bell on. So let's go on and see what are the Lakers' options for the small forward position. Number 5, James Ennis III. James Ennis has never really got the chance that he deserves in the NBA. Starting his career in Australia and Puerto Rico, he had a long way to make it to the big leagues. Since then, he's been moved from one place to another and never really settled. Being a journeyman, it is probably time to move on again. Ennis is an excellent defender, and with his athleticism, he can guard multiple positions. He's maybe limited offensively, but the Lakers have players who can take care of that part of the job. Number 4, Stanley Johnson. The 8th pick of the 2015 NBA draft entered the league as a promising young talent in Detroit, but has still failed to reach his full potential. He's been sent to the G League a couple of times, but has proven that he belongs in the big league. Many would think that if he didn't make a name for himself in Detroit, New Orleans, and Toronto, why would the Lakers sign him, right? But Johnson is still a young prospect who, with the right mentorship, can become a reliable player in the Lakers rotation. Number 3. James Johnson. Johnson is one of the toughest players in his position, ready to do whatever it takes to help his team win. He can defend 3 or 4 positions on the court and can hit long distance shots. He's changed 7 teams in 11 years since he's been in the league, and moving to a new scenario is nothing new to him. He would be a great player to play next to LeBron and guard the best backcourt player on the other team, or play in LeBron's spot when he's on the bench. Number 2. Doug McDermott. McDermott is one of the best players in the league that nobody talks about. He's a great shooter who can both create shots for himself or catch and shoot. He's hitting almost 41% of his three-point shots, and with the Lakers, that number can only go up. McDermott changed 4 teams at the beginning of his career and finally found his home in Indiana, where he spent his last 3 seasons. He was one of the leaders in the young Pacers squad, which a reason more for the Lakers to sign him this offseason. Number 1. Trevor Ariza. The most traded player in the history of the league might be on the move again. Ariza played for the Lakers on the championship team in 2009, and more than a decade later, it's time for him to come back in order to win another ring. He's an experienced and versatile player who can literally do whatever his team needs him to do. He's a reliable 3-point shooter and can lock almost anybody on the defensive end. Thank you for watching Top 10 Everythingz, and I'll see you next time with another amazing video.